This is The Grind to Greatness, episode 47. I want to first start off this episode by saying I'm sorry that I haven't posted in a long time. I've been nursing back a quad injury for over the past week and a half, 2 weeks probably, slowly incorporating back into team training, which I obviously didn't record, but we're finally back with another episode here. And the plan for today was to do some dribbling work and some finishing work and just get a lot of touches on the ball, get reincorporated back into the game because I had a game the next day as well. So I wanted to make sure that I was good for that. This quad injury has been quite annoying for me. It seems like I can play fine, but then as soon as I try to incorporate any sort of gym work or anything like that, then it kind of creeps back up on me. So I got to make sure that I warm up really well to make sure that I don't flare up that injury at all. And I think I'll just keep working and hopefully the quad will get better. But it feels good while I'm playing for now, so that's why I was able to do this session and getting a nice dynamic warm up in here, of course. And then we'll hop just straight into some juggling. I like to start out my juggling with usually trying out just a bunch of different challenges for myself. So, for example, this time I wanted to do 50 juggles in a row, which isn't that difficult, but just wanted to get that in as a little warm up. And then I just try some tricks, some around the world, stuff like that. Try to learn new tricks as well, just for some fun. And also, as well, actually, something I've been trying to incorporate in is juggling with my laces as well, not only with my toes, because it's just good practice to juggle with a bunch of different parts of your feet. And I view the juggling time at the beginning as a warm-up and just a time to kind of have fun with the ball, learn how it moves, and get my feet warmed up. And if you guys watched, I forget if it was a couple episodes ago or last episode, I learned how to do that trick, and I was trying to get it there, but it just wasn't coming to me. Tried it for a couple minutes and ended up just moving on to the next part of the session here, which is just going to be some cone drills. Very simple, but very effective to get a ton of touches on the ball and make sure that I'm not rusty for my game tomorrow, especially since I hadn't played for about a week since this session. So I wanted to make sure that I got my touches warmed up. As you can see, I'm a little rusty, but that's all right. That's why we do this, to get better, to improve. Like I said in previous episodes, with this, I'm focusing on getting a ton of touches on the ball. I'm focusing on looking up when I dribble, and I'm focusing on going as fast as I can to, still be able to do the drill, but also to make mistakes, because that's how you learn. If you just do what you're good at and you never make mistakes, you're never going to improve. So enjoy the rest of these cone drills. These are great to do to work on ball mastery and get a lot of touches on the ball. And I think this drill here is a perfect time for me to remind you guys to use both feet when you do these types of drills. Even though my left foot is a lot worse than my right foot and I make way more mistakes with it, I'm almost more excited to train with my left foot because I know that I'll be able to improve even more with that foot and that my game will benefit from it massively. So remember to use both feet equal amounts during your training sessions, especially when doing things like these ball mastery drills where it's very easy to do just equal number of reps on each side. And something that I've noticed that I need to work on in my game specifically is less of my super close control dribbling like I just did there, which I also do need to work on, which is why I did it. But something else that I need to work on too is my more explosive dribbling, kind of changing direction very quickly, but still getting a lot of movement in. So that's why I set up this next drill. This was my first time doing a drill like this, that where I really wanted to just take as few touches as possible and be really sharp and intentional with my touches. So it took a couple iterations for me to actually get the drill right. I changed it up a couple times to what felt right, and I ended up just going with something very simple, just a really simple cone weave. You're not going to see here, I did one more iteration after this, but yeah, it was a very simple cone weave just to make sure that I try and work on my chops and my, using the inside and the outside of my feet very well, because as you can see here, and especially with my left foot, that's something that I struggle with. I need to work more on getting the weight of my touches correct. When it's not super close control dribbling, that's when I usually mess up. That's when I will hit a ball too far, or I won't hit it far enough, and you'll see here me struggling with that. So I really like this drill that I ended up doing, and I think I will definitely be doing more of that in the future, because that's something that I can see that I can work on in my team training and in my individual training. And this was the final iteration here that I landed on. It's essentially just a zigzag of cones set decently far apart so that I actually have to put some power on my touches. And this is the type of touch that really messes me up. As you can see, I always hit the ball too far, or I won't hit it far enough. So this is really great to work on, and I suggest that you guys add this in if you struggle with the same things that I do. So enjoy the rest of this drill. And that was the end of that drill there. As you can see, right at the end, I was really struggling and getting kind of frustrated, to be honest, because it just wasn't working out how I wanted it to. But that's when you got to remind yourself, this is why you do it. You should be making mistakes, and you just got to push through it. And for the rest of the session, I just did some right foot finishing here. And I know I said that you should be getting the same reps in with both of your feet, but my quad injury was with my left leg, and it flares up the most when I take shots with my left leg. So I wanted to leave that at least a little bit longer before I start taking shots, because my recovery is not fully done and I'm still working on rehab exercises. So I just took a bunch of right-footed shots here off the cut-in, and shot was feeling definitely rusty, but the reps got better and better as the session went on, so I'm not worried about that, and just glad that I was able to get back on the field and get some reps of shots in here. So enjoy the rest of these shots, and I'll see you at the end of the session. And something that I was noticing during the session, but especially after the session, was that my hips were facing too much towards the goal. I should have been having my hips face perpendicular towards the goal so that I can wrap around the ball more and get more of that curve instead of just the straight shot. So I'll work on that in the next session for sure. And as this final shot rattles off, that was the end of my session there. It was around an hour long, maybe an hour 15 minutes. Very good session, and of course I had to end it off with some stretching. You guys know that you should never skip out on your stretching, especially if you want to prevent injuries, which is ironic even though I'm fighting a quad injury right now. That's not because I stretched, but who knows how many injuries I'd have if I didn't stretch. So you guys need to make sure that you're stretching. Make sure that you do this at the end of your sessions. It can take even just 5-10 minutes. This will help you tremendously feel better after your sessions. I think the overall takeaway for this session was to just keep fighting. Even if this injury is holding me back for now, I'm going to keep fighting. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.